I was out of corporate, and corporate doesn't really take you back. So रोटी में चला लेंगे, प्याज मिर्ची खा लेंगे. For me, it was always with my family, with my sister, with my brother, with my mom, dad. They were my core. For this pure reason of not being God afraid, not being a fearful person that if I don't do this, I'm going to be in a problem. You know the typical thing, ये करो नहीं तो God's going to get angry at you. You would be also experiencing in your household, I don't know, that this is the kind of garment you have to wear. This is the bindi you have to wear. You know, the bangles, the piles when you're doing a puja. I would ask, why? And I found my Guru Shri Paramahansa Yogananda. I saw that shift happening in me.
Hi guys, welcome to Enlighten with Neha. Today we have a very special guest with us. She's an author, creative partner. She has been in the corporate world and decided to get off the hamster wheel and get into this creative spiritual zone of creating an impact, helping people with her writings, with her experiences, with a lineage of gurus and the journey of meditation, her own ascension journey as well. So today we have her to give us a deep insight on all these topics. She's going to take us through this journey, and now she's become a very close friend to me as well. So thank you, Preeti, for being here. Very grateful to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Neha. I'm happy to be here. And like you rightly said, you just need to meet for a minute and you realize you've connected and you become good friends. And there's so much of conversation and so much to learn from each other. And it's been wonderful. And I'm truly very happy to be here, a part of this wonderful journey. And my best wishes to you.
Thank you. My delight.
Thank you.
So, let's, first talk about your very interesting journey, which I know very little, but I would love to kind of, go deeper and know you, the milestones that you crossed and
Right.
those tough decisions that you have to take.
So my journey from being a corporate, from a girl to a woman to a corporate person to a spiritual journey, or just the corporate shift to the spiritual one?
I think it's because, I'm sure you have some joining dots kind of.
Wow, that's a long journey we are talking about.
We always go to the roots.
But that's deep roots. All right. So then, I've always been a very spiritual person, devotional person.
Right.
I guess devotion is a very hard quality, and that navigates your life. So I would say I've been the follower of my heart, and that somehow has just helped me go through all the hurdles and all the obstacles and all the challenges, because my go-to place has always been how do I feel about it? It's not how do I think about it. It's not how it should be. What is the right way of doing it? Am I going to hurt someone? Am I going to stumble over the wrong block, which is going to have a domino effect, impacting other people's life, not in a favorable manner? I guess it's a combination that we have. It's not something that's imbibed in the belief system. So it's a combination. When I say it's three things, it's your inner microcosm, it's your outer microcosm, and deeper than that is what you're carrying with you. The soul is carrying with himself for generations, or for, what do you say, lifetimes. Sorry, lifetimes is the right word. So I guess that's what it has been for me. So I'm born with a particular quality, a particular interest, and that then I begin to thrive in my microcosm, in my home community, in my, you know, close relatives, close friends. So, and
Got that environment.
yeah. So we all get that. Actually, we all get that. That's why they say it takes a lifetime to realize and understand
Yeah.
what happened with you, why it happened with you.
Absolutely.
We evolve in the journey, we evolve in the process. And we evolve. And that's a beautiful series of lot of interesting points that you put in the book. So yeah, so it's a journey of evolution. So for me, it was always with my family, with my sister, with my brother, with my mom, dad. They were my core. They were my core strength. My grandmother, and
Like your soul group.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Earth Life Soul Group, if you're talking specifically, and soulmates.
Right.
So, I mean, I would just take a minute to step out from this. So, when we say soulmates, that's how the soul decides to take birth, isn't it? This is the community I want to be with, not just to fulfill my karmas, but also they're going to help me elevate,
Absolutely.
fulfill all what I have to do. It's not just that, but they're just being your strength and support. And I think I've been like that magician, happy go lucky for some reason. I don't know. Nothing ever pulled me down, and then I have to get myself to be serious. Okay, hold on. You need to. When you take birth, you've come for a purpose. Along with that purpose, there has to be a goal. There has to be a vision. There is a mission to that. And I guess going back to what I mentioned earlier, being very devotional. So heart and heart, it's that quality where I feel that guidance comes from there. So that's what it was.
Can have it from childhood.
Yeah, I've thrived in that atmosphere, and that has been my strength. That has been my strength. My mother. So yeah, I would like to just say a little more on that. So in our house, we perform prayers from the beginning, lighting lamps in the temple morning and evening. So when I was a small girl, okay, after bath, before going to school, you're saying a prayer at the temple, at the altar, and then you leave. But as you progress, my mom put in a habit, you should light a lamp.
Yeah.
Why not light a lamp? Okay, mama, why should I do that? No, for her, it was at that point, you should be doing because we've been doing that. And it'll just make you feel happy.
Yeah.
Is what she told me.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So me, my sister, my brother, we all had been doing that from a very young age. Jump to this practice with my grandmother, where we would do puja at home during Navratris or Ganpatis. So there's a lot of chanting happening, a lot of mantra chanting, and mantra chanting brings a lot of cleansing.
The power of sound.
Absolutely. So that is what has been from the formative years till married, and it continues. That's the legacy I took into my home, into my family. And I guess that's where Indian system is. That's where the traditions are rooted, that you stay connected with the roots of our culture for this pure reason of not being God afraid, not being a fearful person that if I don't do this, I'm going to be in a problem. The typical things. Tum ye karo, nahi to God's going to get angry at you. You should do it, otherwise you'll not get the result. While we should pray to God, but it's even more divine when you say, God, I offer myself to you. You know what's best for me. Just lead my paths. I guess that's the space where I continue to be in.
You from God fearing to God loving. Right? That's the transition.
Yeah. So it was never God fearing. No, I wouldn't say it was ever. No, for me, it was never God fearing. It like I said, it's been my home. When you look at the altar, it's your home. What I'm saying is the home atmosphere helps you, number two. And yes, to answer your question of God fearing to God loving, now that comes with the societal norms, is what I'm trying to say. The conditioning, the belief system, that the orthodox belief that you have to perform this puja and you have to do it in this particular manner. if you don't do this, you're going against the discipline. Where is the heart quality? So I would say getting on the path of spiritual practice, or more than practice, I would say, when I found my guru, Sri Paramahansa Yogananda, I saw that shift happening in me.
Wow.
So yes, an element of God fearing was always there, which I would rebel.
Okay.
So when
Really
yeah, I would always question the why.
got it.
If my mom would say, this is the way you have to light the lamp, or this is the structure in which you have to do something, or my dad is saying something, or we have these certain rituals you would be also experiencing in your household. I don't know that this is the kind of garment you have to wear, this is the bindi you have to wear, the bangles, the piles when you're doing a puja. I would ask why, and there was no answer. So I think my heart always had that, my conscious intellect self had that thing, I need an answer. So that got me on this quest of finding the answer, to finding my guru. And that had a domino effect of breaking the shackles and saying, hey, something like in periods. Oh my God. That's the most common thing. You get your periods, you can't enter the room. You get your periods, you can't light the lamp. But why? On the contradictory, when a girl is having her periods, she's in a state of highest energy.
Yeah.
There is a surge in energy,
Exactly.
but we are just saying it away. Now, there were many layers to that. It's simply because of,
Yeah.
I don't want to get quoted, unquoted, and get into the details, but yeah, so yeah. But that's the whole point.
I guess.
So I would be like, why? Why should I be doing that? No, that's what we've been doing. So spirituality, more than that, getting in touch with my guru, like we had a conversation, how Babaji just unfolded things. So those day-to-day livings, those day-to-day interactions with people, those controversies, those conflicts, the quest even when working, why, how, when, who? I mean, God has just told us to be in love, to be in peace.
Or to be love, right?
Yeah. Then why have these norms? Why can't we simply just do it?
Yeah.
And then that shift happened. Like you're saying, now it's a complete thing to say God fearing to God loving.
That brings me to my next question. So you said you met your guru or yoga.
Right.
What was that milestone like? At what point did you meet him? What was that?
That's a very interesting question. And because a new Preeti was born that time. A new Preeti was born. Yeah. Yes. So I think I would say my daughter has been instrumental in many ways.
Okay.
And I was at that stage in life where I guess we all go through that, where we feel we have those goalposts, just like this world map that we have here. This is where I want to get, this is what I want to achieve. And we are setting milestones for ourselves. I said, okay, now what next? I have done my graduation. I'm an MBA. I've worked in the corporate. I have a family, my daughter, we are doing well. Both sides family. I'm a very family driven person. I'm a very relationship oriented person, and to hold the community together, I can let go everything that is materialistic, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always prioritized.
I've prioritized relations. I've prioritized family. So for me, it was when I got married, I said, okay, my family needs me. Let me be the support system for my family, my husband, my daughter, and career can always happen. That's not, I mean, that's what we say in Hindi, na do roti mein chala lenge, प्याज मिर्ची खा लेंगे, बस बेसिक एसेंशियल्स चाहिए, बट जो हमें जोड़े रखेगा वो है प्यार, जो हमें जोड़े रखेगा वो है समझ, एक दूसरे को समझे, हम सपोर्ट बने, सहारा बने. So for me that was the thing. Coming with that thought, so my ticks were done as a woman who is married and who's being a support system, and we shifted, we were staying up north that time, And I kept on questioning, what more?
Yes.
What next?
The
Is this
thing is
so? Is this what life is all about? Is this the achievement? Okay, family is thriving. I'm doing well. Okay, do I need to do something? Do I need to work? No, I cannot get to my work because my daughter was too small. And to be honest, that desire was always there that I can't let my talent go waste. It's a futile life if I don't come true to my purpose.
Exactly.
I cannot just be sitting. And my family was always encouraging, you should do something. So I said, okay, this is not my priority. I just put a thought out in the universe, and didn't know at that point that somewhere in 2017, I'll start working because my daughter will be 17 years old. She would be a grown-up girl. She can take care of herself. And she will just need her mother, not to do her day-to-day thing, but as a friend. No phone call. As a friend. And that thickly connected is always going to be there. Okay, phone call advice. You said that. Phone call advice. You would be doing that with your mom.
I don't even do that. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, so I do that with my daughter. And so I do that with my daughter. She is now 22 and a half. So I do that with her. No phone calls, what's happening. So yeah, so I had just put that thought out. I didn't know what I'm going to do because I was out of corporate and corporate doesn't really take you back.
So you quit the job before you got.
So I got married. So I decided to quit my job. I was getting married. It happened simultaneously because I was getting married.
Okay.
I chose to quit my job to give 100%
Right.
and then give no. So and then it would have been take a break and get back. But then there were a lot of things that happened which required me to be at home in terms of being a support system. And I happily did that. I said, that's not my priority.
Yeah, like you didn't have to struggle.
I didn't have to struggle. Yeah. It just came very natural. See, at the back of your mind, you always know when you're an independent woman, when you have your own income,
Yeah.
when you are so much qualified,
Yeah.
you don't, and you are climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
You're not really, it's not easy to let go that,
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I really don't know, Neha, how it just happened to me effortlessly. Just happened. I said, in my life, this requires me more. Let me prioritize. I can multitask. I can do a job. I can handle home. I can handle the family which needs me. But then is it really worth it? There's going to be, I felt there could be, missing on things.
Yeah, like you can't do justice to everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like you kind of focus.
Yeah. And more than justice, enjoy every part.
Yeah. Exactly.
There is joy. There is joy in motherhood. There is joy in being a daughter-in-law. There's joy in being a daughter. There is a different energy to that.
Different colors.
And I wanted to just make the most of that. So with that in the back of my mind, I said, okay, let me just go.
Yeah.
And then I said this thought probably, maybe my daughter was 3 years old. 4 years old, and I said, okay, देखेंगे 2017 में कुछ होना है तब अभी तो time है तब देखेंगे. And actually, Neha, my first book released in 2017.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Yes. That's how universe works. That is the power of manifestation.
Beautiful.
It's something I didn't even hold on to.
Like you didn't even do it consciously that it is 2017, but
I just told it. I said, I will do it. At this point, my priority is this. Let me give my 200% to it. And that's what I did. And that's what enjoyment of life is. That is what it is, living in the moment.
flowing.
Yes, that is what living in the moment is. That is what mindfulness is all about. And I enjoyed that journey. Today, when I look back, okay, do I feel that my career is lost? I haven't grown on the corporate. You do feel, but that not so much. Because what I have gained is in volumes.
Priceless.
Priceless. Had my daughter turned around and told, Mom, you're doing a job. You didn't give me 100% of your time. I wanted you present for this particular activity. Or my husband would have told me,
Yeah.
I needed you for a support
Yeah.
when I was you know, when you get into the turning points of jumping into your growth career, not that they told me anything, but I wouldn't have been able to forgive myself.
It was your own
It
conscience.